Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my trading journal. Today is Monday night, Monday the 20th of 7th, 2026, and this is another update for the upcoming week. We're basically doing, I'm doing market analysis for this week. We talked about it a little bit on Friday, but I'm trying to just do another one and see where we're at, see whether we can take any trades. I'm positive that we're gonna find something, but because I'm just at the beginning, as you know, I'm not going to risk it if I can't really see it. So the whole purpose of this journal is to actually better myself, so become a better trader, of course, but also be better in front of the camera for whatever reason. I think that's important. But also, keep looking at the markets, keep reading them, keeping myself accountable for being here in front of the camera and actually doing the analysis and keeping an eye on the markets, so we can prove to me, if we can prove to myself that trading can change my life. It is I'll just take this off. It is more and more obvious to me that trading may be able to change my life. However, can I change my life to actually commit to trading? Because it's been quite a few weeks now. I've been literally not trading, and it's been really bad. I've only managed to do market analysis and not really do any trades, no follow-ups on Wednesday. Pardon me, because there was no trades. So I think the question that emerges now is that, can I better myself in order to become a good trader? There's no point asking the question, can trading change my life, if I can't change my own lifestyle in order to actually start trading, right? So just guys, bear in mind, if you're new to this and you just found this channel and you're thinking, oh shit, should I start trading? Should I know what's trading about? Basically, I'm exactly where you're at. I mean, obviously a few months ahead of you if you just started. I started in February myself. I've kind of tried to do the let's say the theory first. I've been looking at charts. I've been talking to people. I've been learning from YouTubers. I've been using obviously Alex G as my main man to go to. But it's they just make it seem too simple, too easy. I've started with $100. I got that to $500. I lost all that, and now I'm back at 500. So I'm trading a little bit. I would say not too bad, not too bad. I got also I have a dummy account, a $5 million one, and I've managed to get that one up in the last month and a half from 5 million to 6 million. That's just a little bit silly, being silly, understanding why is Alex making so much money. So I've applied the same kind of strategy to money, well, like a small risk, but with a big account, and it's very, very doable. I mean, I'm no trader, no qualified trainer, no experienced trader, and I was able to take that dummy account from 5 million to 6.1 million in just over a month and a half. So of course Alex, when he's trading motionless. He has no emotions, right? I mean, emotionless. And because of that, of course, he can make $1 million just like that, his account is 2.8 or 3 point something millions of dollars. So no wonder that he can actually afford what he can afford, plus all of the courses that he's selling and the Sunday swings and all that. So it kind of makes sense that it's working. So that was the whole purpose of that paper account, to just see whether he's full of shit or he's legit. And the only way to prove it was for me, just a beginner trader, to paper trade successfully. It was quite an eye-opening. Now there's a bit of a tricky part to that. So I'll show you the account. When I started trading that, I have actually every trade that I've taken on that account, I've entered to market. So as good as I was, unfortunately, this one trade, you can see it, I hold it. And yes, if you're watching my other videos, you will see that I've been holding it for, this is almost the third week. If I just hit it, I entered this trade on the 16th of the 6th. Now, the problem with this trade, I entered a buy. So I entered a long position instead of a short position. And that was my mistake. But it's basically what it's proving to me is, hey, if you fuck it up, you can lose all your money. So even though I took this account to I took this account to 6.01 or 0.5 million, and I'm losing it all now. So you can see all of these blue numbers on probably your right side, I guess. They all trades that I've taken successfully. There's one here missed because what happened there, I exited in plus, but it was like I was owing money to the whatever paper trading guru. So what happened with these trades? I entered to market. So when you enter to market, you do not have a stop loss, of course, so or to take profit. So doing that, you're risking your whole account. So because I made a mistake, I entered wrong, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, this is gonna reverse and go back up, and I can at least break even. But it's been 3 weeks and he hasn't done it. So it maybe more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, a month. So it kind of proves to me a point: if you enter the market, be prepared to fuck all your account. And I'm of course not willing to do that. That was paper trading. I didn't really care. I just let it run. But I should have exited at the beginning when I went minus 100 grand, minus 200 grand. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fake money, but learn from it. So I'm learning from it not to do it. And if I am to do it, just set your stop loss in your mind and take it, because what happens is you think, oh, it's going to reverse, it's going to reverse, it's going to reverse. No, it's not going to reverse. That's exactly what happened. It's not reversing. So it will potentially reverse, but I could lose that whole $5 million account. Now, if that was real money, I'll probably not be so calm, but it's still proving a point, you know. I feel bad because I've had such a good reputation on that account, and now to have all that money that I made to be gone, it would be really silly. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna keep learning from it and see if it's worth holding. And the reality is, I know it's not worth holding. All right. So if this does come back, it's pure luck. It's not that, oh yeah, the market is coming back. But the other trades, just so I give you a little bit of insight, I have entered to market as well on this paper trading account, and I was able to flip all of them onto a positive balance, which was amazing. But I did not make a mistake like I did the last one, which I put a long position instead of a short. But anyway, that's enough about that. Just I want to add one last thing before I move on to the charts and just see what's happening. I want to remind you all that this is truly my journal. I haven't got any other form of recording my trades or any other form of, let's say, writing notes down and doing things like that. This is the only thing I'm doing. And I am using this for myself to use, of course, but I'm really, let's say, happy or excited to be able to share this with everybody to see. Now, when I started trading, I saw Alex, because I used him before. I saw Alex, you know, he crashed his car. I was so excited about cars and stuff. And then I saw the Bugatti. I was like, oh, what? How can this guy afford that? He's younger than me. I mean, I'm in my late 30s. He's in his mid 20s. I was like, okay, so he must be doing something right. And then I started looking into it. And then I'm like, okay, trading. I heard of trading, but it was never my thing. I always thought it's a scam. Probably still is a scam, which is why I'm doing this. But anyway, that flicked something in my brain, and I thought, if he can do it, I can do it, right? Now, like I said, he might be making money from different sources, but I proved to myself that you can make $1 million in a month, which was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. But it is hard for me to start with a small account, like $100 to take that to $1 million, which is, I can't even think of that. But yeah, just remember, I'm doing this for me and I'm doing this for you. So when I started this, I was just saying that I wasn't able to find someone that actually shared the journey to becoming successful. So Alex, he just basically showed everybody his wealth, kind of boom. So this is my car, this is my money. But it didn't really highlight to me how much grinding he had to do. He's talking about in his videos about taking him 2 years until he finally had a breakthrough and he managed to understand it and make it. And then he's teaching us for free online, you know, all these videos and all these strategies, which is fine. But kind of, I believe everybody has an edge, and your job and my job is to find my edge and see what works for me and how I can see it, and just try and use it, you know. But I do know, and I'm extremely aware that it's really, really hard to grow a small account to a big account unless you're risking like a shit ton, which is kind of what I'm doing. And I'm kind of looking at $100 that I'm putting in as a bullet. So my sole purpose of that account is to save that $100 bullet. So every time I enter a trade with my full account, the whole purpose is to not blow that $100. So the first trade is always the hardest, but after that, when I'm trading, I always make sure I leave $100 there. So if I fuck it up, at least I have a start, a beginning again. And yeah, I'm going to be risking most of the account as I grow the account, and as we get into the, you know, the 20s and the 30s and the $50,000, if fingers crossed that happens, then we're going to reassess the risk and how we're going to do all that. But yeah, just want to highlight what I just said. The reason I'm doing this online is that if you decide to start trading, you don't have to go through a gazillion of successful traders and see what they've done, because unfortunately for them, they had nothing. So when they started, they didn't think, oh, I should record my journey. So they kind of, as they started making more money, they had more time, they started traveling, they started trading and take some more videos, but their interest was for them to become financially free. And that's fine, but it was really hard for me as a newbie trying to understand how it all goes. And I'm doing this, and every week I'm hoping to get better and better and better, but it is clear to me that I'm taking a lot of time to do my actual work, you know, to make sure I provide for the family, provide for the mortgage and all of that stuff. And I'm falling behind every day I'm falling behind. And what I mean by that is that I'm locking in Monday night for this video for weekly analysis. Now, unfortunately, which I'm just realizing now, the market has already opened in New Zealand. It has opened this morning, which is Monday morning here, and that makes sense, of course, but I should really focus on these videos on Sundays. Do it just before the market opens, because you will see they have already moved. So there were potential trades that I've missed on Monday because of it, but equally, I don't like to trade on Monday, because Monday usually is all of the chaos after the weekend. Everything is balancing out. And then on Tuesday, they're gonna establish, and then you have your trades set up potentially for Tuesday night, Wednesday. And I say night is because that's England session and New York. Yeah, you know, so I'm seeing myself not giving it 100% because my time commitment. So I have my business, renovation business. I have got a photo studio, and I'm also doing moderating for TikTok for a friend and my wife. So it's a lot happening. It's a lot happening, and we have to prioritize money. But I tell you what, if I was to tell you in 3 months you're gonna make $1 million if you keep doing this every single day, and if I could show you a picture of you in a freaking Ferrari or Lamborghini, I guarantee you would take every single day seriously and do it. Just do it. But you know, it's just you need that mindset. You need that switch in your brain to flick. Now mine has flicked, but I blame it on the time. I'm probably really bad at time management. I'm sure there is time. I probably just need to do a better job. You know, finding the time to do it. But just remember, I am not editing these videos. They come as raw as it gets. I find it useless trying to edit these videos, because when you start trading, just like I have, you're not gonna see a pretty version of yourself, as in what I don't mean physically. I mean a successful, a happy trader and all this and that. You want to see how you would actually or potentially look like, and you will see me when I'm going to start taking trades, when I'm at risk with losing, or when I'm excited about winning and all that stuff. It's going to show, it's going to see, and I want you to be able to experience that as part of the process of the learning process. And when I go through this market and I do my analysis, I want you to be able to actually see them and understand what the process looked like for me. And yes, it is true, if you're looking at this video today or tomorrow, for example, it may be a little bit pointless for you because I'm still learning. But think about it this way. If I can actually get to becoming a profitable trader and be, have a success rate of 70%, it would mean that you can go back and see where it has actually clicked for me, because I am putting all of the names of each update to the lesson that I was able to learn, or the issues that I had that week, or anything that has been good or bad, put it all into a title, so you can go back and see. And also the other thing I'm doing is weekly, how much money we made, the real money, and whenever that's going to start being not zero, which currently is, you're going to be able to look back and say, okay, look, he's made 100, he's made 300, he's made 500, he lost 300, he's made 400 again, he's made 1,000, he's made 10,000, he's lost 5,000, he's made 15,000, he's lost 3, he made 20, he's lost 7, he made 18, and so on. You will start understanding when I started becoming profitable, and you can narrow down the lessons, because all of these first episodes they're useless. They basically, they're here to help me polish myself and learn from the mistakes. But even though they're useless, there's no point deleting them, because I need you guys to be able to go back and see all of the useless shit that I had to go through in order to become what I have become. So even though they shit in, like, say 5 years from now, they're very valuable for someone looking back and seeing, and maybe 6 months of 2 videos every week with 0.0000000, and then suddenly we're gonna see some improvements. And that's for you, it would be like a light. You will be able to go back and see, oh my god, okay, look at this fella, he started doing this, and you can read the lessons. And even possibly I could potentially put together like a little bit of a guide, what I started, what I got to. I wouldn't call it a course, but something similar, with my understanding and my learnings. But I truly believe, even if I say take 3 years to get this done, and I have got all of these chats online, and I'm able to pull everything that I learned together, put it in a book, and sell it to you, or give it to you for free, the reality is you're not going to become successful unless you're going through the grind. So Alex is obviously very successful. He's teaching me, you, everybody else for free. He's putting all these videos out. It doesn't mean we're gonna be successful. We need to go through the grind. You need to hit your head to all of the problems and learn. And it's really, really clear to me that's what's happening right now. And eventually, if you give it your time and give it your best and stay focused, I think is going to happen. So yeah, that's all I had to say for this intro. At least if you're watching this video, before you watch some of the others, you understand where things are at. And yeah, this is I'll just say the date again, 20th of the 7th, 2026, and I am in Auckland, New Zealand. So fingers crossed we can get some time and become a profitable trader. I think it is possible. I think it's possible, looking at the paper trading account, and then looking at trades that I miss, trades that I highlight, I mark, and they don't go, or they go my way. I do think I'm slowly developing an edge. And I think it's crucial to have a network, have a team of people. So that's one of the other things why I'm doing this. I just want to have the possibility to work with people that are like me. Now, people that are going to watch these videos, they will be pretty much like me. They're going to be, they're going to be calm. They're going to be, reserved. They're going to be able to observe the market and not overreact and not be rushed. There's no point being rushed. I believe you need to be so calm and compounded together, and see it for what it is, not what you want to see it for. But enough talking, guys. It's been 20 minutes, so I apologize for the long talk. But just remember, it's my diary, so I can speak for 3 hours if I wanted to, because these are the notes that I want to remember in the future when I'm gonna go back and check these videos. But anyway, guys, I have got the 6 pairs from last week that they were potential entries. I'm gonna just look through them. There's no point getting rid of them just yet because they looked pretty good last week. But as we go through, if they look like shit, we're just gonna drop them, and then we're gonna go through my running pairs. If my running pairs are any good, we'll add them to potential entries for this week. Goodness me, no more juice. All right, guys. First on the list, as you're probably aware from Friday, it is NZD USD. And it is clear to me just looking at this, this weekly high and weekly high low, we have got a pretty respected area of interest. We actually have 3 of these areas of interest, and we just happen to be just above current weekly high. This has just flipped on Friday. Actually, I should say this flipped this morning because that weekly candle closed on Sunday and it just opened. Now, this used to be a bearish market. So this was, sorry, this leg here, this was the previous bearish leg. And we had this bearish drive. And now we have reversed and we're going back up. Now, what I can highlight here from a learning point of view, looking at this, I can say, or I believe that this market is ranging. Ranging means when market is going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So currently I haven't really, I'm not 100% capable of understanding when is ranging, why is ranging, and how to recognize that. But even a ranging market, you can make so much money. It's pretty phenomenal. Now, this particular one here, looking at weekly, we have already broken above this area of interest and we are at the EMA. So naturally, I believe that this is going to have a push to the upside and potentially come back down to retest. Like we can see this one here, this had a push to the upside and then came back down to retest, and then it had a continued its push. We had this little red candle that was obviously rejecting this area of interest in the EMA, and then it had a push to the upside, which to me, if I would have dropped at daily and hourly to find the entry point here, that would have been a ginormous trade. Absolutely beautiful trade. Now, unfortunately, this other one here, when it came back down to retest again and push again, it's hard to really pick up how that happens. But it is clear that this has tapped the weekly area of interest at the top here, but it hasn't reached it. So it is possible that we basically created a double top for the reversal. But what I don't like is that this, even at weekly, had such a big push. That whole week had a ginormous push. Now, if I do drop to daily, and you look at this, like you can see this is engulfing and is at the area of interest. And because of the market being in a ranging state, this is engulfing. This would have been probably a clean entry as in for the sell. So just going to 4 hourly, I want to see what it looks like. I mean, look at this. This is your 4 hourly. Now, even to my shitty analysis, this to me looks like an entry signal. That doji, that there's not obviously it's not a perfect doji, but it is the one next to it is engulfing this, and I would say that's a doji. Obviously, I zoom in quite a lot, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a doji, but I do still see this as an entry signal. It may be just called something else. But you know, you could have put a trade right here at the bottom of this and had this whole ginormous push to the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I see. So when I'm looking at this right now, I see this is gonna have a continuation to the upside. And even if that's wrong, because the market can do 2 things: one go up or one come down, right? So because we know weekly is bullish, daily is also bullish. Daily is bullish, and we have already, as such, had the retest at a daily level. Let me just get rid of this. This is what I was waiting for from Friday. We already had this rejection, so we basically broke above the right here. Like, just imagine daily used to be here. We basically broke above, and then we're coming back to retest the level of that break, and now it's pushing to the upside. So I would say that this has got the potential to push up. Now these notes here are from last week. So I said, wait for confirmation of the area of interest rejection. Based on market structure, look for a sell. But based on what I see, it looks like a bullish retracement slash structure change that can go higher. So it's exactly what I said Friday as well. I believe that this is actually going to go up. This is not going to reject that area of interest. In order to believe that this is rejecting this area of interest, this should have been much lower, or this area of interest should have been much higher. Should have been much higher about here, and then this rejecting and retesting and then going down. But I do not think that's what's happening here, because we have already changed weekly. So weekly change to bullish, daily change to bullish, which means we are looking for a buy. Naturally, we're looking for a buy. So what I normally do at this point, when I know daily and weekly align, both candles have the same color, we drop to 4 hourly and we try to look for an entry signal. Now, an entry signal would look like an engulfing candle, a blue engulfing. So pretty much something similar to this. But now that we are above here, or above this area of interest, let me get rid of that. Because we are above the area of interest, I would wait for this to actually come back down. And like ideally would be to not come lower than the 4 hourly high low, and have the next one, the next blue, full engulfing, just like this one here did. And to be perfectly honest, I do believe this one here would have probably been the entry signal. It's just a little bit sad that is so low. As in it is below this area of interest, so it's kind of not ideal the way I look at it. It doesn't feel ideal. But yeah, I would say that we will be seeing this go to the upside from here. Now our stop loss, if we place the stop loss roughly about there, if the 4 hourly is going to go below what's currently now and close below that, we're changing the market structure. We're basically going to be bearish again. But currently everything is bullish, and the one thing that is stopping me putting a trade is the color of the 4 hourly candle. That's a red candle. So what that's telling me that the market is still pushing to the downside. So for me to put a trade, I need that candle to close. In 23 minutes is closing, to close like that, and the next candle to be blue. And I could easily place a trade on this one. So I really like it, and my stop loss will be there. My take profit will be here. So if we can manage to enter roughly at this level here, after this candle closes and we get a blue candle start, I'll put this trade. I'll take this trade and we'll see what's happening. Now, in some of the videos before, probably the 5th or 6th update, I said that I was going to enter with a small sum, like 1 or 2% of the account, just to actually be, to be in it and try it. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because I had a plan on how to make 100 grand by Christmas, and one, I'm falling behind, and two, it's just $100. So if I fuck it up, who gives a shit? I want to fuck it up, and I'll put another $100. And reason being, how much money you spending on coffees every day? It's like more than $100. I don't drink coffee. How much money you spend on Lotto every week? I mean, I used to spend $100 Wednesdays and $100 on Saturdays, because for whatever reason New Zealand has 2 draws on Lotto, and every time that reached 10 million I would be in. So I spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Now, is this like Lotto? No, this can be 50-50. So it's all about probabilities. Once you get to a higher number of wins, you'll be much better off than not, or playing like small numbers. So yeah, I'll probably put a big risk on this and just see what happens. I mean, I'm only here to make that 0.5. So if if this hasn't got the push, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty blown away, because looking at this, the next reaction point would be this consolidation area, which is pretty substantial. But let's say this low part, it's still above what I need. Even if it was to react here, but see, this is actually coming down. So yeah, if we go past this, then it has this trade has got 1 to 4.6, and I'm aiming for 1 to 0.5. So if I'm playing my $450 account, I should be able to push that up to $125. And that's all I want. You know, I just want to push that up and keep doing that, you know, getting 0.5 every time. And if I can do that for every trade I take until Christmas, then I'll be good. I'll be able to grow my account a little bit bigger and start focusing on what matters. But yeah, that's what I see with this trade. Let me just go to daily and actually mark this again. So wait for confirmation. That's still valid. Rejection based on market structure for a sell. I'm gonna delete this. Look for buys. Look for buys. But based on what I see, it looks like a bullish retracement structure change. Okay, so we already know that has already changed and it can go higher. Look for buys. That's it. Bam. So that's what we're gonna have. Okay. Cool. Next on my list is GBP NZD. We're gonna do it exactly the same. Actually, one thing I haven't done to the other one. Let's quickly have a look. I wanted to have a look at daily area of interest. So daily is there and there. Okay, so it's too low, so up here. Yeah, daily. This is a valid area of interest on daily. And daily, also, it's already engulfing it, which is, I don't even know why the fuck I'm not putting this trade right now, because you have this little candle, then you have the doji, and this is obviously 12 hours away from closing. But if this candle closes engulfing, you can't get a better signal than that. It's like, wow, this should have a push to the upside. And remember, this is how much I needed to go. That's it. So even if I push this a tiny little bit lower, just in case, to 31, 48, 50. I'll probably go 54 or whatever. Actually, it doesn't fucking matter. 50 is fine. That's how much I need. Just go to 4 hourly quickly. Yeah, that's how much I need that to move, to make it, right? So we'll keep an eye on this one. Possible entries. Okay, next one, GBP NZD. Just dropping to 4 hourly too early. Let's have a look at weekly. What the fuck is going on with this mouse? It keeps grabbing. What's grabbing? Oh, okay. One of the little feet broke. Look at this. I had this for 10 years. I'm joking. Must be at least 4 years. Logitech, like 50 bucks. Hopefully I can afford one soon. All right, so where are we now? See, we are presented again with the same kind of picture. Looking at weekly, we already reached this higher part of it. We're now coming to the middle of it, and it's so kind of annoyingly obvious that it wants to go down. So my first thought is we are pushing to the bottom. We're pushing down, and what you do? So what I do in this instance, I forget about anything else, and I'm just focusing on what matters. What is the market structure doing? We are bullish. This has not closed yet. That candle has not closed. That candle has a whole week to do what it needs to do. And this could be just a retracement before going back up to a big push, right? But if this is a retracement and it's breaking that weekly high low, it's going to be a bearish market again. So it's going to have a possibility or a much higher probability of going down, going to the bottom. So what I'm looking at this, I straight away assume that we're looking for a rejection for a buy, a long position, because we are bullish, right? But then we're going to drop to daily and see what daily is doing. So daily is clear as day that is going down. So daily, is currently bearish. After a very long bearish push, it stayed bearish, and right now it hasn't held below this, or I should say above this area. We can see it came down, it rejected, and then it came back down, and now it's going below it. So it is pretty clear to me that we're struggling to actually stay above that area of interest. So I would say we are going to change this market. I forget what it's called again. Anyway, well, I had it on NZDUSD. Anyway, forget about it. So it's going to change the structure and go from bullish to bearish. And I believe we are so close to weekly high low that it's just gonna be a matter of time for us to change weekly to bearish. And looking at daily right now, exactly what I've drawn here, that's exactly what I'm waiting for to see. I'm expecting this market to come back down and retest this area of interest and then go to the bottom. Now, it is very, very highly likely that's not going to happen because this has already had the retracement here. So what this tells me is that this had the push to the downside, had its own retracement, and that's coming back down, and it's probably going to go as low as here. So just removing this thing for a second and marking this up, we can then see what is going on. Now, from a stop loss point of view, I normally market where or round about this area of interest. If the area of interest is 20 pips, 30 pips, 40 pips, that's what I want to be. And what that does is that increases the reward, the risk to reward, but it's also increasing the risk because if you're wrong, it can backfire and you lose your money, right? But when I'm looking at this and I'm trying to understand what would make this a non-valid move, as in what would make this trade a wrong trade. And the only way to prove that is if this market closes above the daily low high. If it closes above here, then I was clearly wrong. So from a stop loss point of view, that's where it should be. Is this tracking me? Come on, buddy. Yeah, that's what it should be. Because if this does return all the way to there and it goes above it, then you know you're wrong. So there's no point, no point keeping an eye on it and just forget about it, right? But you having a stop loss that is 143.7 pips, which makes it really, really awkward for this trade to actually be a successful trade. Even if you go to 0.5, it kind of needs to move a substantial amount in order to do that. That is 71 pips. It is possible to move that much. From a stop loss point of view, that's what I would put it. But from a trading point of view, I don't think I would do that. I'm going to drop to 4 hourly. And at the 4 hourly, I'm going to wait for this retracement to finish. Once that retracement has finished, then I can enter this trade. And I can then do exactly the same thing, but based on the 4 hourly. Now, we see the 4 hourly low high, and we see the 4 hourly low low. If we put our stop loss at this area, then we can have our stop loss round about there, which means if this market does go opposite to what we said, at least we knew we were completely wrong. But from what I see here, this is looking pretty good. We knew it came down here, had a rejection, and then came back down and broke below. So right now broke below and is retesting. So it is kind of doing what we said with that retest. It's coming back down and up to retest, and then potentially have the push to the downside. So I kind of like what's happening here as well. The potential is for the sell, and I'm just gonna write that here. Wait for market confirmation at the area of interest for short for a short position. Okay, Okay, cool. And that's it. Cool bananas. Next one, CAD/JPY. CAD/JPY, looking at weekly. This is really, yeah, it's really messy. The way I look at it and I see it is like very messy. Oh, sorry guys. I'm struggling to read this. It's clearly consolidating this whole last few months here. Since, oh my god, this has been since the beginning of the year. Wow. Okay. Okay, so since the beginning of the year, we have almost completed the range. I don't even think we did, because this is the low, this is the high, but it hasn't managed to get back down. So we're close to this high again. Now this area of interest is below everything, so I can remove it and move it actually where it matters. And that is approximately here. So you see, it almost makes sense that we're gonna hit that area of interest. Possibly. But because we're not there yet, there's no way of telling. That candle needs to close. So this week's candle needs to close in order to even consider a trade here. Otherwise, it's just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you see. Yeah, I do think it's going to have a push to the upside. And look at this here. Absolutely amazing. This is from last week. We had put this there. This is what we expected to see, rejection from below. But it just continued going up. So it was amazing. And that's what I said he's going to do. And look at it. Ginormous potential. Anyway, let's leave this alone. So we're just going to... That was the note from the previous trade that I just deleted. Chase the long position to 0.5, and we went already. Look at this. We went this possibly, if I would have taken the top, that would have been 1 to 2.85. So if I was to place a $100 trade on this, we would have walked away with $285, which would have been amazing. But anyway, we didn't, so forget about that. Now with this particular trade here, we will just say wait for this week to close at the AOI, and only after that look for trades. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll just we'll drop this one. We don't want it. CAD/JPY can go away, and can go away from the watch list as well. We don't want it. All right. EUR/JPY. EUR/JPY is kind of in the same boat, is it? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Okay, but however, see, this one is at this area of interest, so it's actually pretty decent, because you have 1, 2, 3, and you're reacting from there. Now it is really possible that we're going to see a push to the upside, just at a weekly high, because of where we are, right? We are, it seems that we are below this area of interest, but it could be that this is just a retracement. It could become a rejection. Let's go to daily and see. But first things first, so weekly is bullish. We would be normally or naturally looking for buys right now, even though the price is at a premium. Okay, so right now daily is rejecting this area of interest. Okay, if daily is rejecting, what does that mean? Okay, so daily is rejecting, it's not going above. I think it's going to change. I think it's going to change. This is just a retracement. We're going to see this come up here 100%. So what do we have? Wait for market to retest a weekly AOI for a long position. Long position means that, okay, cool. That's Athena as well. Keep an eye out for potential bullish move as a sim. Okay, that's exactly the same. So yeah, we're just gonna keep an eye on this and look for buys. So I'm not gonna delete this. I think is a plausible entry. 4 hourly is consolidating the fuck out of it, but it's below the AOI, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. All right, cool. Next one is EuroCAD. EuroCAD weekly is bearish. So it is pretty clear that weekly has kind of just changed. This AOI here at the bottom is kind of screaming that, hey, we're going to come back down to it, but it's to be ignored because we do not give a shit about that. What we give a shit about is the market structure in between the weekly low high and the weekly low low. That's all we care. So currently we hit that sweet spot and we are rejecting the EMA. But we are bearish. So what that means is we would naturally be dropping to look for a sell. Now we have come up here, we tested this area and then we retested it, and now we're having a push to the downside with the full engulfing at the weekly level. So that is absolute perfect of a trade to have. And if you look at daily, this is the trade that we had marked last week for a beautiful trade, but I did not get a chance to look at the markets and enter it. But if I was to enter this trade, I would have made my 0.5. And now maybe me doing this is a mistake because I had so much more potential, but maybe this is what's going to make me a millionaire, and maybe what's going to make me realize that trading has changed my life and it can change my life. So even though it had the potential, it doesn't mean he's always going to do it. But my way of thinking is I need 20 trades to go all the same way and be winners in order to make the 100 grand. If I do that and I make 100 grand, then there's nothing stopping me to keep doing that and become, you know, a much better financial position, right? But what matters is what the market is doing. Ugh, sorry, it's hurting me. So my back is hurting me. So we have got this beautiful rejection at the area of interest with the full engulfing. So it's like, what else can I ask for? But from a daily point of view, we are currently bearish. We are pushing to the downside. Now, I know it's important to look at price action. Is the price at a premium? Is at discount? Is the price at a psychological level and all that crap? I'm still to catch up with them all and understand it and see how that affecting the market. But I think for now I need to focus on market direction based on the simple things that I know, rather than trying to see, am I at the psychological number? I mean, look at this. This is psychological number all the way down here. This one here is not a psychological number. 1.63. I mean, 1.60 maybe was 7. 0. Okay, well, possibly here. This is not a bad price. Right about here. See, that's a psychological number, and we just about hit that. So what that means is when the trade hits a psychological number that is on a discount zone and in a zone that has had reactions from before, what that means is likely that lots of retail traders, big traders, small traders, whatever you want to call them, they placed orders for buys at that low in order to have a decent push to the upside. So what's happening now is exactly that. It is pushing, it's going back up. But what can also happen, that psychological number, nobody gave a fuck about it, and nobody put, but a very small few put a trade in. And what that's going to do is going to push this back up a little bit, retest this area of interest, in only to go further down. Only to go further down, like that. Bam. You see? Boom, boom. So yeah, this is pretty simple. That's what I see. So wait for daily to retest the AOI. So that is still valid. I wrote that on Friday, and I think if daily is going to retest that area of interest, we have another potential trade. Now, what you normally do in order to be successful, which is the hard part, we know what this is going to do. We said it, hey, that's what's going to do. But it's 9 o'clock at night, so I need to go sleep because I'm really sleepy, and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. So this is where that dedication is going to stand out, and you need it. You need it so badly. It's like impossible to stay up and wait for this trade. So the best thing I can recommend you do is just get yourself an alarm on your phone every 4 hours, and at least you can come and check at every 4 hours. And if there is a possibility for a trade, then you can take it. But if you don't stay up for these trades, it's not gonna happen. Now, when your brain is not rested and you half-fast, you make mistakes. So just be mindful of that. Unless you move to somewhere in between England and LA or New York, you're gonna have to do some crazy hours, just like I am. So I'm happy for this to not be a trade. But if I'm looking at this and I understand it, and I say, okay, well, this is what's doing, and it's doing that, then that means I'm developing an edge. So it is a lesson learned, and my wife won't agree with that, but the bottom line is, at least I know it's doing what I'm seeing it. So if I see it once, twice, 3, 10, 100 times, that means I am creating an edge. And the next step would be developing my feelings and actually trading and all of that stuff. Because I'm a little bit scared, that's the bottom line. I don't know what the fuck I'm scared, because I always waste money. I mean, I had a sushi today. A sushi, 8-piece aburi. I don't know if you know what that is. A salmon and rice. It was $30 fucking for me only. I literally had a juice and 8-piece aburi, and it was $28 or $29. $29. If I put $29 here and I gamble, I can make double that, just like that. So I'm realizing more and more and more that money is just a tool, is not something that has value. Time has value. You know, time is the only thing that has value, and the more of it you have, the better off you are, and the more sane you are. You know, when you have no time, you're stressed, you're running like a mad dog, you make mistakes, you don't sleep, you don't rest. But just imagine having money, working like trading. You know, you can go to France, you can trade there. You know, you just need a couple of days a week, you can go visit things, and then you're done with France. You go, okay, but I want to fly now to, I don't know, let's say Canada. I want to go skiing. You just fly to Canada, you're gonna go skiing. Or you want to go to warm water, you just have a look on the map, see where the warm water is, good weather. You fly there, stay there a couple of weeks. Even if it's you yourself, or you and your partner, or even if you have a child, this will give you freedom. And that's why I think it's important to do the hard work and grinding, you know, so you can get there. But yeah, so this trade, we will be just waiting for it. This is the 4 hourly, and the 4 hourly is kind of far from, it's kind of a little bit far from being where I want it to be. It is possible that it's not gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna come back up to retest. So it's possible that we would just miss it, as in waiting for it to return is not gonna happen. So as soon as this candle closes, which is in, this is daily, sorry, yeah, that's gonna be too much. Right now 4 hourly is bullish. I do believe this is gonna come up and retest this area of interest, because it just broke below and now it's coming back up to retest, and that would be your entry signal. Bam, right there. We're looking for an engulfing, and in the process we should be able to see the 4 hourly change to bearish as well. But anyway, wait for them to retest AOI. I'm gonna say for a sell. Hey, there's one thing too, guys. You may be thinking, what the fuck are these tabs and labels and how they appear there? So I have, sorry, just got a text. I've worked on these indicators, and I have managed to put together an indicator that picks up market structures. So with the market structures, I don't have to do it, but it could be the reason why I'm not placing trades, because every time a candle closes, this will follow it straight away. Boom, 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 boom. So when that happens, you don't get a chance to look at the market for what it was before you marked it. and you're looking at it for what it is now. So it makes it hard for you to see like a broken structure and a retest of the same structure that was broken. So while it's good and it's making my life easy, I think this is a tool for the future when you really experienced trader and you can see it. I can't say I'm there, but I'm aware of it, and at least every time that happens, I can, I can kind of have a reaction of it. And what I mean by that, so right now, this leg is the valid leg, the latest leg that has become bearish. Now, if I am to take this and mark this from there to here, so this was the previous leg. Hard to see, but yeah, this was it. This was, oh, let me just change this. Background, no background. Okay, cool. So this, you can see from here to there, that was the actual leg that was bearish. So what normally happens, we had the rejection at the bottom of it. We did not go below that. It came back up and then rejected the EMA and it's gone back down and broke that structure. Because it broke the structure, we created a new leg. So what my indicator does, it will straight away pick that as a new leg. That's a new bearish leg, and boom, it just happened that now the market has a new leg. But one of the strategies that I've learned was when the market structure has been broken, very often the market will come back to retest that box that was broken. So basically what it's saying is it's going to come back and retest this point here, this line, which is exactly what we're showing. You see this arrow, let me just zoom in a tiny little bit. So we are showing that we're going to come up here and retest this line, which is very thin. Let me make it thicker so we can see it, and maybe make it purple. Okay, so we can now actually see it that, we broke below and now we're coming back up to retest it. Now that happens so often, and the best thing about it is if it does come back to retest it, we will be again at a much better price. The price will be in a premium area before it does push to the downside. And now we are looking at daily, so a price, what is it, like a premium price based on daily structure, not weekly, because we're still at the bottom of weekly, which means we would be already at a discount for weekly. But from a trade point of view, if you want to put a trade just like I marked this one, if you're putting a trade right now, it's possible that you're going to see this trade go, let's say, have a big pull to the upside and then have the push to the downside. So you would miss your opportunity to enter when the price is the most premium in order to give you the most reward. And we can see how this candle is now still doing its thing. But this is daily, so just dropping to 4 hourly. We need this candle to close in order to know what's happening. And we have another 3 hours. Shit. That's crazy. It's been already so much time. It's been 20 minutes because I was talking about the other trade. And it closed. So yeah, we are at an hour. So I've been speaking for an hour. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, that's what I see this being at. So in order for us to read or use these boxes, these indicators, I should say, you need to have this box in the back of your mind all the time and just have a look. What was the market box or structure before it actually broke? Are we coming to retest this or not? So that's what I'm saying. It's a good indicator, but it's bad if you're a beginner. So if you do want it, I could potentially give you the code I've created with ChatGPT, and I'm putting it in pine, which you can't really see. Can you? Maybe just here, just this little pine tree behind my picture. That's what it is. Let me see if I can move this. Yeah, this one. You can see that's pine right there. Boom. It's gonna open up. This is the code. So it's a decent code. So I have been going back and forth with ChatGPT for months, and I had fights and arguments with him because I know what I want, but he didn't know what I wanted. So it took a long time to convince him to give me what I wanted. So yeah, but in the end we managed it, and I had to play with the logic so much that it finally made sense. So we actually have boxes that's hidden. You can't see the boxes. We're using boxes to actually show the structure. Even this here, this is part of the box, but I had to get the box formed, and then I had to hide the sides and just leave the top of the box and the bottom of the box with a label and a line that connected it. So yes, it looks pretty, but it's messy behind in order to work. I'm not a freaking developer, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But at least it's like that, and it's working really, really well. And the reason you're seeing weekly on daily is because this is by far the most important one. If you are in the middle of a weekly market, it's usually messy, or anywhere if you're in the middle, I don't like it. So right now we are at the bottom of weekly, and daily is bearish, weekly is bearish, which is a good thing, and we are below this area of interest. So it is kind of highlighting to me what's about to happen. So I do think it's going to be a push to the downside. I just don't know whether we're going to have a retracement or not. And if there is no retracement, what I would have to do as an adjustment for next time, as soon as we had this push and rejection, I can basically, as soon as I hit this area of interest, bottom of the area of interest, just put the trade. I mean, just consider this. If that just happened, I would have the stop loss right there. This candle hit this point, I would have entered right there, and I would have looked for 0 to 5. Look at that. Right there. Boom. So this trade could have made me my money today. Literally, I could have entered in the morning, made my money, and move on. I could have actually made this much. 1 to 1.2. Just since the market opened. Now this one is Thursday day. Okay, so Thursday, Friday, Monday. Apologies. This was actually from Friday. So Friday, I would have had to enter Friday. But if I was to enter Friday, just consider this. Friday was there. I would have been able to, before it closed, I would have still been able to make 1 to 1 without even worrying about today. And part of my thinking is 0.5 is my number. Yes, this had the potential to go to 1.1, but I did not know that. But if I can lock in at 0.5 every single time with a bigger risk, then I could eventually grow that small account. But anyway, call me crazy, but we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell, and hey, the best thing is you do not have to worry about doing it. I'm gonna do it. And if it works for me, it's gonna work for you too. So just bear that in mind before you start judging me. All right, we'll leave that one for now. We're looking at your AUD. Your AUD, what are you? Weekly. So weekly is bullish. We have clearly reversed. Oh, this is, oops, that was the candles. Come on. Whatever. So weekly is bullish. Weekly was bearish. Weekly was, holy shit, that had a big bearish push. Oh my god. Okay, so weekly was bearish, had the push to the upside. It's coming back down. It's going to the middle. It's coming down. So fuck knows what it's doing. But hey, remember, one of the lessons was that the trend is your friend. So right now we are bullish. So we would be normally or naturally looking for a buy. But what we have to be mindful of is that the fact that this candle has already broken below, weekly high low. So what that means is this can potentially be a reversal. This can be a reversal, and you have to watch out for it. So what you would be watching out for is that this does not close above that line. So just dropping back to this, to daily, we can see this is rejecting the EMA and fully engulfing. Now we can see daily is bearish, and the fact and the matter is daily has been bearish for a long time. Since here has been bearish. So had been bearish. So it is very, very likely that this is not going to go to the upside, and this is going to go to the downside. Let me clean up a little bit. So it's very likely that we're gonna see this have a push. Oh, come on, you darling. It's very likely we're going to see this have a push to the downside. Oh, come on. Stupid. Whatever. So we can say that this is going to carry on to the downside. This kind of rejecting this area of interest at the moment, but it is very likely that this is going to close engulfing, just like this one did, and then have a push to the downside. Can I put a trade in right now? Yes, I can. But it sucks putting a trade when the candle hasn't closed. Even if I was to drop to the 4 hourly, there's no indication of this market's move at the moment, whether it's gonna go down or up, because it's, you can see it's come here, rejected, and possibly rejecting. The only way this would tell me, hey, we're actually reversing, is if this candle goes down and we come into retest and then go down. Now that would be the safest bet, and I would not take a trade if it looked like that. I mean, I just makes more sense because weekly is bullish to look for a buy than it is for a sell. But if I wait, it may actually show me that's looking to give us a sell. So for now, let's see what we have. Weekly bullish, okay. Daily bullish, no more bearish. Bullish, waiting for AOI rejection plus EMA rejection to place a long position. Long position means a buy, so it's actually a short now. Come on. Short position, weak area of interest, might not hold, and we would be looking for a bullish push. Okay, so this is gone, no need for that, it's clearly not happening. Now I just want to tidy up this a little bit because it's just too many areas of interest. Now this area of interest can fuck off, we don't want it because it's outside our market structure. So anything outside our market structure is a potential reaction point, yes, but because it's outside our area of interest, we do not want to have it, we don't want to look at it. Now this one at the bottom here, we're going to keep it because this is an indication where the market could potentially go based on reactions from previous market structure. So there's no point deleting that because it will give me a look at where the market could potentially go. And we are at the moment weekly, at the bottom of weekly. So what that means is, because we went below it, we really need to be careful, because it can do what I just said. It can come back down here, retest, and go down for a bigger push, but it can be ranging in weekly, you know, can just stay about there and that's it. I can see monthly is bearish. Let's see monthly, yeah. So this whole monthly leg is bearish. So it truly makes sense to me. It truly makes sense to me that this is gonna have a push to the downside. Truly. Anyhow. Okay, so that's us with it. So these trades, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades because we deleted one. They have the most potential. However, Euro USD hasn't got any potential. It's shit. But I'm gonna keep it here because I want to watch it and see what's happening. But Euro CAD, I believe we're gonna see a push to the downside. Euro JPY, we're gonna see a push to the upside. But now that this is kind of sucked in below, it's possible to reverse, maybe, but everything is bullish. So we'll just keep an eye on it and watch it. And just remember what I said about being in the middle. It's so close to the middle, which means it can't do anything. It can kind of consolidate and then have a push. So I'm just gonna move this at the bottom because it's the less likely one. GBP NZD, we're looking for a short position. So this has reversed, it's coming down. Weekly is bullish, but we are bullish. Where are we? We are extremely close to it. So if this week closes, and this week closes bullish, bearish, that means we have a change of character. Hey, I said it. All right, and then NZD USD, we're looking for a continuation, a bullish continuation. So yeah, it's kind of suck that I am at oh, come on, you fucker. It kind of sucks what it is. It's just there, but it's it's having a push to the downside, but it's not holding. So again, what the beauty about this, see, it gave you such a deep entry. You could have literally entered when it was the lowest, but the reality is you don't know when that is happening. So you can enter there, and then it's gonna have a ginormous push to here, or even week out and then go back down just to retest this CMA. So the safest stop loss will be here, boom. But that's crazy, because that would mean what? What am I doing wrong? That looks like 1-to-1. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong number. That means you will have to come to here in order to make, which is still valid. I mean, what is 60 pip? That's not bad at all, actually. And what this does is this gives you a peace of mind. If the market truly goes that low, it means you fucked up. So, but yeah, these are my pairs, and I'm just gonna quickly have a nosy on these other ones, just for fun. So NZD, GBP, EuroCAD, NZD, GBP, EuroCAD, and then we have Euro JPY, Euro AUD, Euro JPY, Euro AUD. Yeah, that's it. So the bottom ones we had a look at. So GBP CHF. What are you, darling? GBP CHF, it's pushing to the upside. Yeah, this is gonna keep pushing to the upside, guys. So I'm not even gonna bother with anything. I'm just gonna mark it, and I'm gonna put a note so we're all happy. Push to the upside. Push to the upside. Pushy. I'm gonna say expecting a push to the upside. Okay, excellent. Next one. This is, I mean, you can see all these trades. This is trades that I've marked last week, guys, and it went freaking amazing. Now wait for retracement and put a long position. Then long position means a buy. Yeah. So this was at the lowest on Friday. So Friday I could have put that trade in, but then this was Monday, sorry, Saturday. So I was pretty close to this, but right now I do think it's gonna have a push to the upside. Oops. GBP JPY. It's clearly pushing to the upside like crazy. So yeah, I've been just waiting to see what it's doing. It hasn't come back down enough, and look, it's not enough information to actually put a trade here. It's at the peak, so it's above me. USD CAD. That was a beautiful trade. I didn't take, of course, but it had full engulfing, it had consolidation, and then you had the push. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. How did it go? Up or down like you predicted? So see, that was the question I had. How did it go? Did it go up or down like I predicted? So it went down like I predicted. See, you can see this thing here. Even though at the time of that, we were guessing, we didn't know what it was gonna do. So I sensed that it was gonna go down because it was consolidating, always engulfing to the downside. So engulfing here, engulfing here, engulfing here. So yeah, I did that. Next one, AUD USD. AUD USD hasn't really done much. Expecting a push to the upside first. So that's the thing that amazes me. I said that last week Friday, and that's exactly what it's been doing. You know, it had come down and now it's pushing to the upside. So phenomenal. And everything is bearish. So it's very likely that this is going to hit this area of interest before it's gonna go to the bottom. But it never reached the bottom, so I can delete this and wait for it to show us what it's doing. But I believe this is what we're looking for. Bam, like that. That's it. And GBP AUD. What is happening here, darling? This is daily. Daily is bullish. Everything is bullish. We are at this area of interest. So what the fuck? So yeah, that's a retracement. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. I need to wait for this to do its retracement and see what is rejecting from. GBP USD. GBP USD is looking pretty good. Wait for daily to break above the area of interest and retest for the buy. So this is what just happened. This was Thursday, Friday, Monday. So this is today. This is day. So it had this retracement. So this is pretty amazing because going down to the 4 hourly, we can see that that's engulfing. So damn, that would have been a perfect entry right there. And 1 to 0.5. What the fuck is going on here? Why is that so big? Delete this shit. Oops. Okay, 4 hourly. So everything is bullish. Everything is freaking bullish, guys. This coming back down to retest is going up. Bang, come down to retest again and it's going up. And even might be coming down again to retest one more time. That's amazing. Anyway, which one was I in? That it wasn't going well. Euro USD. Running. Euro USD. Okay. So I have bought in here. Okay. Where are we? Let me see. I buy 1.16081. I buy 16081. 16. Okay, roughly about there. So that was my area of interest. Okay, guys. So that's what I mean by I fucked up. Because I was not meant to buy here. I don't know why I bought. I have no idea why I bought, but yeah, that's where it went. It went up. Boom. So I tell you what, probably I did wrong. So I had this so-called trend line, bang, bang. And it seemed that this is also trending upwards. And this, at the time of me entering, was blue. So I thought, nah, that's going to be engulfing and go to the upside here. So I think that's why I screwed that one up. But it didn't, so it went down. So just this is what it looks like. This is what $1 million in debt looks like. This is it. Boom. Let me just go there. So this is where we are at now. So that was 1.3 million. Now it's 800. And my hoping is that we're gonna go up and see it through. But let's just do some analysis here and kind of regret our move. Okay, so we're clearly consolidating. There's clearly room for me to blow the whole account, especially if we do make it all the way to the bottom here. But considering where we are, I do believe that we have reached a bottom point. And if we don't see rejection at this point and a push to the downside, we're probably going to go through and reject from above. So I might be able to save this one and bring it back up because it looks like we are at the breaking point. Let's say at the breaking point, the bottom, you know, as such. That's how low this has been. This is a little bit lower. And I can sense this pushing to there. Possibly. I may be a bit too hopeful, but we'll see. All right, that's it. I'm not gonna go through these other pairs, guys, because they're already on the other side and there's no point wasting our time. But it looks like we're having a couple of opportunities for this week. My job is to stay awake and hopefully find some trades. So I really appreciate you taking your time to listen to my video and watch my video. I hope this is helpful to you. I know it's going to be helpful to me. It's just a matter of time when that's going to happen. So just bear with me. If you're looking at this video in the future, I'm hoping that I'm successful already. Then you know that you are onto something good. If I'm not successful, just check my last video on this channel and just see what I'm saying, because I'm going to keep this honest. And I'll keep it personal, as in what I feel in my heart about myself, what about trading towards myself, or myself towards trading. I'll keep it straight and honest. So if you're coming to watch this video, these videos past June 2026, then you're probably in the future, most certainly. And yeah, I suggest having a look at where I'm at now, like today when you're watching this video, and then decide whether it's worth having a look back or not. I gave myself about 3 years to prove that this is working. If it isn't working in 3 years, then I'm clearly doing something wrong myself, or I just can't trade. I'm useless at trading, you know? But anyway, really appreciate you sticking around. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you have any lessons for me, or if you want to teach me anything, also let me know, guys. I really appreciate you, and hopefully we can make it together. Take care.